The car was pretty good right from the start, and really, to be honest with you, after practice on Thursday, if you would have told me that we would finish 15th, I would have been somewhat happy with that. We didn't feel like the car was very good. We made some solid changes on it overnight and really made the car quite a bit better. I was happy with it right from the beginning of the race, was able to make passes on people and be able to kind of put my car where I wanted it, where on Thursday it was really, I was just kind of holding on for dear life for quite a bit of the practice. So really happy with the pit stops that the other guys did on the Alliance Truck Parts Dodge. They were able to gain us spots every time that we came down pit road. We took 2 tires there at the end to try to get the track position, hoping that we'd get some green flag running towards the end, and then lo and behold, Brad takes 4 and gets by us, and that was probably the difference between being able to battle him. I don't know that I would ever been able to hold him off. He was really strong all day long and just had a little bit more speed than what we did. But to be able to come out of here with a 1-2 for Penske Racing was great. Just wish the captain was here to enjoy it with us. But the guys at Penske Racing did a wonderful job. They brought 2 new cars here for Brad and I. Put a lot of work into this race, and to be able to get a 1-2 finish feels pretty good. I just I guess if there's a guy that I can handle losing to, it's Brad. But I want to win, and to be that close, it would have been real nice to be able to do that. But well, there's always next week, but there's never a chance to win the inaugural nationwide race again. So if seem a little bit disappointed, I guess that's probably why.
Take questions now for Sam. Go right here. Take some more. Let's go with Lewis and then Dick.
Yeah, Lewis, Frank Reuters. Sam, how important was it for you to come back and have, after last week in Chicago, to have a good finish here? I mean, does that help? And also, could you take us through when Kyle spun?
For us to be able to come back and to have a good weekend, it was really good for the team's morale. I mean, there was a lot of the guys that were pretty disappointed after last week, and mostly on how our strategy played out. But for them to be able to come back and to have a good strategy today, and we felt like we had at Penske Racing, we basically had both strategies covered there towards the end, which is always a good thing to do. Gives you 2 shots to win depending on how the yellows come. That restart, Brad almost always seems like he slows down the restart, and that one he went before he ever got to the thing, and I don't know what it was, but I was gonna file in third there, and I haven't seen a replay of it yet, but left the lane to the inside because they said the 54 was looking down there, and next thing I felt him bump into me and saw him spin, and I would have done anything to not be around that, regardless of if it's my fault or not. It's just I would have much rather not been around that, but we put it behind us and tried to do the last restart, and man, it was it's a little bit tough knowing what to do. I wanted to push Brad. It was unbelievable how that all played out there at the end, and I was going to be happy to finish third and got a little bit of a bonus.
Go ahead, Dick.
Yes, Sam, go through. You've had a pretty hectic 3 weeks here, suddenly flying in out and unexpectedly and jumping in a car to get out there and race, and then coming here and in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, we've really had a busy couple weeks, that's for sure. But to look at how we ran over that couple weeks, Daytona really wasn't. Then we didn't finish the way we wanted to, but we were really points racing, making sure that we kept ourselves out of trouble. Then obviously you have we were 4th at Loudon. We were 7th last week, or 8th last week. We should have been 1st to 4th at worst. So. To come out of there with an 8th place finish or whatever it ended up being was not a good day for us, and there was no real infighting amongst our team, and just I think all of us just wanted to bear our head for a while, and all for different reasons. So whether it was for what happened or getting us in that position, but the thing that we did was we all manned up and said what we could do better, tried to figure out a way to get everybody back on board. I guess the way that I look at it is a lot of teams could have fallen apart after the weekend that we had last weekend, and we did the best that we could do to try to to come a little bit closer together. So with the way that everything's been going, it seems like a lot longer than 3 weeks. It seems like about 3 months since Daytona, and mostly because I keep getting all these answers that I can't, not that I can't answer, but I have no idea what the answer is. I don't know how many more races I'm going to get to run the Shell Pennzoil car on the Cup side. I don't know what I'm doing next weekend as far as how we're getting back and forth, which practice sessions we're going to run, things like that. Well, I guess I do know I'm flying on Brad's plane back and forth, but I don't know what our itinerary is going to be. But I know that we're going to go try to do the best that we can tomorrow with the Shell Pennzoil car. Keep those guys on the right track. They're a hardcore team. I mean, those guys are all veterans and know how to keep moving forward. So we're going to try to do the best that we can with that. Go test on Monday up at Michigan. And then we'll head off to Pocono or Iowa or wherever we're going. So,
Other questions for Sam? Right here, front row with Mike.
Sam, you've won here in an Indy car before, and you did it on a last lap pass. Was there, when Brad was out ahead of you with, say, 10 to go, were you trying to envision that if you could get back to him that you might be able to take advantage, or was the draft just not even going to give you a chance at that?
Well, it took me a bit to get around the three and to be able to kind of go after Brad even. And, I felt like, I'm catching up to him a little bit. And I'm like, I'm sitting there going, I'm catching up to him. But as soon as I get there, it's going to be A, tougher because of the aero. And B, he's probably just going to push the gas pedal down a little bit harder. He's probably saving a little bit something there. So, Brad's pretty darn good. So I didn't have any dreams of grandeur or whatever. Going out there and passing him on the last lap, it'd been awesome if we did. But I felt like as soon as I got within 10 car lengths, he was going to step it back up a little bit. And, it's really tough racing your teammate like that, because you can't make a mistake because all of a sudden we go from finishing 1-2 to I'm the guy that couldn't finish second. So I knew it was going to have to be one of those deals where he made a mistake for me to be able to get the job done and to feel comfortable about doing it. So, he had the 4 tires and he had a good car and had good restart on that, not the next to last one, but I think 2 from the end, and somehow figured how to get from 7th to second about a lap and a quarter. So I knew he was going to be tough to beat.
Go ahead, sir.
Bill Kramer, Racing Roundup Show. Sam, you've got a win at Phoenix. You've got a second here, both flat tracks. What makes you good on flat?
I don't know. I think that Chicago, it's got some banking to it. We were decent there last week, but I think that a little bit of the mentality of what I grew up racing. I did mostly road courses, so that's generally pretty flat. I like tracks like Phoenix that are different from end to end because they're what I call compromised racetracks. You're never going to get your car perfect in both ends, so you try to work on one end that you think is going to be more beneficial for you to be able to get passes done, and then you kind of try to maintain in the other end. Pocono is another place that's like that, And this, if you really look at it, this is a lot of in my opinion, a compromised racetrack. You got to be really free into 1 and 3 to have any kind of a shot to get the car to turn off at 2 and 4. So I just did the best that I could to get the car freed up enough to be able to turn off of 3 and 4 and try to guide it in the best I could in the other end. So this is a compromised racetrack, and I think that flat tracks are just, I don't know why, but maybe it's because you have to let off and you have to be gentle with the throttle, but there's some other guys that are pretty darn good at that too. I don't know why it seems like we run well at these ones, but I like them. I was scared to death a couple times the other day in the practice, and really was wanting to pull my hair out. Where I'm like, well, we'll get it better or we won't. There's not that much to think about here, and we try to make good changes over our day off and get ready for today. And man, I was so happy when I got out there and started that race, and I was like, man, I can drive close to people, I can pass people. Just a good feeling to be able to get in the car and it does what you want it to do.